listening to the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast with Tony D. Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast, your episodic dose of trivia covering all things video games and nerdy. Now, here's your host, Tony D.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be doing a mini-sode of 10 questions about WWE superstars that had scary-themed gimmicks. So if this is your first time on mini-sodes, what we do is just 10 questions on a very particular topic, which I just told you. What I do is I'll ask you the question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then I'll tell you the answer. Alright, let's play. Question 1. Which WWE superstar, known for his eerie and supernatural persona, often appears with a lantern and is associated with the Firefly Funhouse? That would be the late Bray Wyatt, aka The Fiend. He unfortunately passed away earlier this year, and actually he was one of the reasons why I got back into watching WWE, so pretty sad that he's gone now. Question 2. Who adopted a vampire-like persona in WWE and was part of the Brood stable, known for their entrance through a ring of fire? A little added hint here is Edge and Christian were also part of that stable. That would be Gangrel. Question 3. What WWE Hall of Famer, famous for his dark and mysterious character, at some point was managed by Paul Bearer, who carried around an urn with him every time he came out with this wrestler? That would be The Undertaker, aka Mark Calloway. Question 4. Which former WWE and WCW wrestler is known to wield a bat, have his face painted reminiscent of the Crow, and shares his name with a popular musician? That would be Sting. Question 5. Who is known for his sadistic Cane Dewey promos and unpredictable behavior, and also having a penchant for thumbtacks? That would be Mick Foley, aka Mankind, also aka Cactus Jack. He played many different gimmicks. Question 6. What character had a story that he was burned alive when he was younger and had to wear a mask then to cover up his burned face, and later it was retconned to say that they were just emotional scars because when he was unmasked, there were actually no physical burns? This was Kane, or Glenn Jacobs. Fun fact, Glenn Jacobs ended up being the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. Question 7. Which WWE superstar had a character that was based on a voodoo priest with supernatural abilities and also had a tendency to put curses on his opponents? This would be Papa Shango, aka Charles Wright. Question 8. Who portrayed a dark and enigmatic character with a supernatural edge, including the ability to control lightning during his entrance? He had a giant staff, he was dressed in all white, and he was pretty much like the anti-Undertaker. This was Mordecai, aka Kevin Thorne. So unfortunate, this character actually was pretty interesting. His gimmick was pretty good, and I really wanted to see an Undertaker versus Mordecai fight. But that never happened. They got rid of the gimmick pretty quickly because the crowd just didn't like it. Question 9. What WWE superstar had a gimmick where he consumed worms and used a clock to terrify his opponents? That would be the Boogeyman, aka Marty Wright. And question 10. Which WWE superstar was known for his unhinged and unpredictable character, aka the Lunatic Fringe, and often used a gas mask? That would be Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley. Alright, growing up I watched a lot of WWE, back then was WWF, saw some WCW, so kind of like dropped off a little bit and then came back recently. But I wanted to keep in theme with October being, Halloween, so hope you enjoyed this mini-sode of WWE superstars that had horror or scary kind of like gimmicks for their wrestling gimmicks. As always, you can always reach out and suggest topics through email or through our website, through social media. Let me know. Let me know if you like this episode. Let me know what you think. If you did enjoy this podcast, please rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps other people find this podcast. But again, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, Trivia on!